Okay, so now in this video we will add the enemies, or you can say the obstacles. So we will be using this obstacle. So just simply drag and drop that right here. And first let's just rename it to obstacle sprite. And as we did for the player object, we will do the same for the obstacle spirit as well. So let's just create a empty game object and name it as obstacle, and just drag and drop the obstacle sprite inside the obstacle game object, and also reset the transform of the obstacle game object. And now, okay, so as you can see it is gone. Let's just go back. Okay, and make the position x and y 0 and leave this as it is. And also let's just resize it because it is too big, so change it to 0.4 and then 0.4. Oh, let's just make it 0.3 and the y as well 0.3. Let me just move it right here and again change it to 0.4. So okay, now it looks good. So now let's just add this obstacle game object inside our prefabs folder. So just drag and drop it. So prefabs are actually special type of components which allows us to create, configure and store a game object complete with its all component property values and the child game object as a reusable asset. So by this I mean we will simply call this prefab and then this obstacle on our screen as many times as we want. As you see in the introductory video, the obstacle, okay, this switch comes from the top, from the center and from the bottom as well. So as you can see it stored all of the changes. So let me just drag and drop it again, and as you can see it created the same duplicate of the obstacle as you can see. So now let's just select both of this and delete it for now. So now in the scripts, let just create a new C# script by the name of spawn obstacles. Press enter, and now let's just open it. Okay, I tried to rename the script file right here, so that's why it shows spawn obs, because I left it uh, as it is. So let me just change this to spawn obstacles. So now right here the first thing we will do is to simply first remove the start function, and right here we will create a public game object by the name of obstacle. Then we will create four public float, and the first float type variable name will be max x, then max x, sorry, min x, then max y and min y. And after this we will create a public float again by the name of time between spawn, and then after this the next one will be of type float as well, and it will be spawn time. So make sure to create these variables, and then after this right here we will create a new function by the name of spawn, and inside this function create a float by the name of random x, and this random x will be equals to random.range, and in here the range will be between the minimum x and the maximum x. After this create another float by the name of random y, and this will be equals to random.range, and this time the range will be between minimum y and maximum y. Then after this right here we will type instantiate, and inside these brackets we will say obstacle, then transform dot position. So we are basically instantiating the position, so we type transform dot position plus Then we will create a vector 3. Okay, so in here for the x coordinate we will pass the random x. Okay, this one. And for the y coordinate we will pass the random y, and for the z it will be 0. And then after this we will say transform, then dot rotation. So now after this, in the update function we will check if the time is greater than the spawn time. So if it is greater than spawn time, we will simply call this function right here, and after this the spawn time will be equals to time dot time, and then right here we will type time between spawn, and that's it. So now let's just save this script, get back to Unity, and right here we will create a game object by the name of spawn point. Now let's just reset its transform, and let's just attach this spawn obstacles script. Now let's just grab the obstacle free web and drag and drop it inside the obstacle. So right here for the maximum x my value will be 3.6, and for the minimum x my value will be 3, and you can add your own values right here if you want. And for the maximum y and minimum y, we can just so let's just move it all the way up, and as you can see my highest y value will be 4. And now let's just move it all the way down, and as you can see my minimum y value will be 4.3. So now let's just simply delete it and click on the spawn point, and right here we will add 4, and then right here 4.3. Your values can be different, and I told you how to find the y value, so just follow that steps. And sorry, change this to minus 4.3 because we want to show the obstacle down below. And let's just add the time between spawn value 0.7. You can change these values to whatever you want for making your game perfect, so don't worry and just change it and show the obstacle wherever you want. And now the next thing we want to do is to move this spawn point outside the camera view, because I don't want to spawn the obstacle right ahead of my player, so just move it outside the camera. And now let's just make this spawn point the child of the game manager, and then let's just drag our player right here to the starting of the screen. Restart it. Okay, as you can see it shows us the obstacles now. So now as you can see the obstacles are now on the screen. And let me tell you, if we move outside the screen, as you can see our player moves outside the screen, so we need to add a colliders, and also we need to kill these obstacles as well.